Darrell. I'm a candidate for City Council, 5th District at large. I've been born and raised here in Kansas City all my life. Kansas City has my heart, and my heart is in Kansas City. So I'm running for the City Council in order to help improve the quality of lives for all Kansas Cityans, as well as to help make Kansas City a world-class city.
Amazing.
To me are basic services, crime reduction, and economic growth. And basic services, when I say basic services, I want to put more money into basic services, meaning that I want to make sure that your curbs and sidewalks are repaired, and that you have curbs and sidewalks, that your streets are repaved, that your potholes are fixed, basically fixed a lot better than they have been fixed in the last few decades, because they can put asphalt or whatever it is that they use on the potholes, and then 6 months later the pothole is back. So I want to look at the ingredients that's used so that we can try to make sure that they last a lot longer than what they do. But then also look at illegal dumping, look at snow removal, trash pickup, things of that nature that people pay their tax dollars for and they expect to get results from. So that's one. I said crime reduction. I want to make sure that we are looking at programs for youth. We are looking at ways to prevent crime, and maybe that might be through some apprenticeship programs for youth. But we've got to start at an early age with youth. 1 in 4 people, or 1 in 4 African American males between the ages of 18 and 30 are going to be a homicide victim. That's just crazy. There's 29% of African Americans in the city. 80% of them make up the homicide rate. We've got to do something about that. So crime is definitely important to me. And then last is economic growth. Economic growth, I think, really helps with a lot of things. It creates jobs. It helps stabilize and strengthen neighborhoods. And it also helps, I think, small businesses to create small businesses and expand small businesses. So those are the 3 that I would have to choose. Like I said, I was born and raised here. I consider myself a public servant. I have volunteered a lot of my time and my life to public service as well as community interest. I have served on several boards and commissions. I'm currently president of my homes association, been president for the last 22 years. I've served on the Hickman Mill School Board, served there for 9 years as president, served on the Jackson County Combat Commission for 6 years as chairman, Jackson County Democratic Committee man for the last 25 years, on the board of directors of several community organizations that help the community in regards to food distribution, rent and utilities and things of that nature. So like I said, I'm a public servant. I want to help people and improve people's lives, and so that's what I've done all my life, and that's what I want to continue to do as a councilman. I want to try to make sure that the City Council is working collaboratively together. I believe a lot of people think that the City Council does not work well together right now, and so therefore things that are not getting done. And so I want to make sure that we have a collaborative working relationship. I wasn't too good in math, but I do know how to count to 7, and it takes 7 votes on that council to get anything done. So I want to try to work to build those coalitions on the council so that we work together. I want to try to make sure that I am responsive to my constituents. I've heard as we go throughout the campaign that people call and their calls are not returned. They send emails are not responded to. They go down to the council office and they can't even find a council person. So I want to be responsive to the needs and the people so that they know that I'm there. I recently retired from Ford Motor Company so that I could run for council and be a full-time councilman and not work as on a part-time job and then do the council as a part-time job. So I think first of all we've got to, and I want to try to change the mentality that the river divides us from north and south, as well as the truth division line, because a lot of people feel that, and there may be some truth to it, but we've got to stop, I guess, making it so prevalent, because if we continue to perpetuate it, it's just going to stay there. So we've got to knock down these dividing lines, the truce boundary as well as the river. So I want to try to dispel those as well. I want to try to work with all communities in regards to making sure that they know that they are included in any decision that is made, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's black, white, Hispanic, Catholic, Baptist, Democrat, Republican, whatever it is. I want to make sure that everybody feels inclusive in any decision that's made at City Council. My way around the council and the building. Being a new term or new council person, you've got to try to figure out things first. So I think in my first 30 days, I would probably want to try to get to know the staff, get to know who's responsible for what, know who I need to go to when I have a question, know or find out who does what, and just try to get to know my colleagues a little bit, because there are going to be 6 new council people on there, some of which I've never met before until the campaign, some of which I've known before, but we've never really worked together. So I want to try to do that. And the first 30 days, I think, is going to be just trying to get on that learning curve. In 60 days, I hope that I've learned a lot in those 30 days to kind of help me progress in those next 60 days, so that now I'm able to understand, the processes and the procedures of the council, know where to look stuff up at if I have some questions or I need some resources, know who to deal with when it comes to, say, like development, when it comes to neighborhoods, when it comes to business, things of that nature. Start acclimating myself to acquainting myself with those individuals. In 90 days, I just hope that then I can start really working more out in the community. I plan on doing that from day one anyway. But I think I'll have a better idea of how I can better go out in the community and share with them what's going on, what I know up to that point, give them information on who to contact if they have questions and issues. I think I know some of that now, but I just want to be able to go back out in the community in about 90 days and say, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a newsletter. I'm going to have community meetings. I'm going to, do whatever it is that I can to connect with you and you can connect with me, so that we have an ongoing dialogue.